My name's Chris McEwen. I'm a service technician with York Pharmacy in the Mobility Division. I'm here today with Wayne MacDonald. We want to share his story. Wayne has just come back from an 18-day trip to Egypt, dive trip in the Red Sea with side trips to the Sinai Desert and Cairo. And we're very excited to share his story today. Thanks for joining us, Wayne.
I appreciate it. Thanks. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I'm a paraplegic. I've had a workplace accident in 1999, and since those 23 years have passed, I've been here, there, and everywhere, and presently live in London, Ontario. I've always had this philosophy of being a rock turner. So as an example, I was involved with talking to a group of kids for an organization called Community and Hospitals Against Trauma. The teacher happened to be a former Olympic paddler. He told me about a program that was being formed in Oakville with this Wainui Outrigger Paddling Club, and it was a one-night, Monday night disabled paddle. And then Wendy and Rich, who ran the club, started asking me if I'd be interested in maybe helping bring para-canoe to more of the forefront. I went, absolutely, right? That was just like an opportunity. And I started participating in smaller competitions and whatnot. You know, over the couple of years, we participated in these different competitions, and I finally was asked to be part of Team Canada in 2008 in Nova Scotia on Lake Banook at the Worlds. And we were the first ever sanctioned heat with involving disabilities, and that's the IOC ended up putting para-canoe into the Rio Summer Games. Just by accepting this first conversation with Larry Kane, like I said, who was an Olympic paddler, this is all that came from it.
That's the importance of saying yes.
Saying yes and show up, right?
Yeah.
If people are willing to build it, then I will come. You know, it's like flying. I ended up starting to be a glider and it was only because this guy had mentioned, he said, oh, there's a Freedom's Wings program being run at this club in Arthur, Ontario. So I went out to this club, and they had started this program called Freedom's Wings, which was based in the States, but this gentleman had decided he wanted to have it in that club. And they had a plane with hand controls, so I ended up starting to learn how to glide, and that was in 2006, and I ended up being the second licensed disabled glider pilot in Canada.
What kind of equipment have you used and have had access to in the last 23 years that has helped you live your life?
Well, of course, the main thing that we use is a wheelchair, and fortunately the technology has improved over time, and I now use a carbon fiber chair that I think is fantastic. I have an arm bike that I use quite often, and I'm involved in a lot of long distance riding, which involves this MS ride that I'm involved in from Grand Bend to London to support MS. My mom's had MS since she was 34, so it's kind of close to my heart. I've got a hippocamp chair that I can use to get into the water, and of course, you know, your standard bath bench to have a shower and so on and so forth. So yeah, those are the kinds of things that help the world go around, our world anyway.
Yeah. Biggest piece of advice is for somebody that is recently been injured.
Well, my advice to them is to look at your strengths and not your weaknesses. Because as soon as people focus on the weaknesses, and that goes with everybody, then their strengths disappear. So if you stay on your strengths and you are unique to yourself, and you don't compare yourself to others, and you strive to be what you want to be, in whatever capacity that might turn out to be. So my advice is to stay true to yourself and be open to whatever life presents to you and decide what is good for you and what's not. My future for me, and however long I've got left on good old planet Earth, is to keep turning those rocks and finding new opportunities for adventure, because that's what I thrive on.
I wanted to thank you for taking the time with us today, being part of the Uric mobility community. You're an incredible advocate out there for yourself and for others, and bringing that hope and inspiration to other people that they're able to do. They're able to do these daily things in their lives, or they're able to take a trip to Egypt potentially. Everyone's different, as you said, right?
Yeah,
So,
totally.
thank you for that, and we appreciate it very much.
Well, like I said, I've really come to enjoy the people at Uric, yourself and Keith, and I'm always been a little bit leery of suppliers because they seem to like to pass the buck, but you guys have, always made me feel welcome and sort of part of something as opposed to just doing a job. So I appreciate Uric's part in that.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Awesome.